Aloha, friends and family. What do you think would happen if everybody suddenly forgot everything they believed? Yep, I'm going to talk about beliefs again, because until we get it, we don't get it. So we got to keep going over it until we got it. But what do you think would happen if everybody just suddenly forgot everything they believed? Would the world spiral into chaos? Or would an awakening happen? Or maybe both. Some people would spiral into chaos and some people would have an awakening. Because if you didn't believe anything, if you suddenly just forgot everything you believed, you would not be, basing things that happen off of your beliefs. You would just be basing things off of the way they were right in front of you. So, as an example, when Rashad got shot for shooting a policeman's taser at his face, when he got shot for that, people would not be looking at that through their beliefs. They would just look at the facts right in front of them. Dude is resisting arrest, fighting the cops, steals their taser, tries to run, tries to shoot them with the taser, and gets shot. Okay, if you didn't have any beliefs, you would just go from the facts and you would be like, yep, anybody would get shot doing that. Alright, and now this newest one that has set the mindless mobs afoot destroying other people's property. The cops were called to a domestic dispute situation. Dude has warrants for his arrest. Cops are giving him lawful orders. He does not follow them. They shoot him with the taser. It does not work. He proceeds to go get in his car like he's either going to drive off with kids in the car or get a gun or who knows what and get shot. If you didn't have beliefs already in your mind about what was happening, you would just go by what you knew. And what you knew and what you know and what you come to find out is the dude is the dude is known to have rape charges, domestic dispute charges. So here is somebody that abuses women and children and thinks that because he's a certain race, he does not have to abide by the law of the land. These laws of the land weren't just arbitrarily put there. They were voted in by the people of that land. And they're laws that everybody has to go by. There's no special race card that gets you out of having to abide by the laws of the land. Now, if you don't like the laws of the land, you can leave the land, right? Because you're free to do that. So you're free to head on out. You'd probably do better in China or North Korea or many other countries where they don't mind people that abuse women and children at all. So you do much better over there. But over here in this land, we don't go for that shit. And supposedly, these virtue signaling mindless NPCs are fighting for that very cause, right? To protect women and protect children. But no, they protect the people that do harm to women and children, then get themselves killed by being ignorant fools, and then want to go out and tear up your stuff, my stuff, anybody's stuff. that they can. Because of their beliefs. Stupid, ignorant beliefs. Instead of just going by the facts. So beliefs are a tool used for mind control, obviously. Obviously. They got these retarded NPCs full of beliefs. And they got them full of those beliefs through manipulation of their emotions. And since they were never emotionally stable to begin with, it was easy to just put beliefs into them. Because they didn't know anything. Obviously, they don't know anything. If you know something, you don't have to believe stuff. Right? If they know how the laws of the land got put in place, they wouldn't believe that they were suddenly exempt from it because a bunch of loudmouth crybabies decided to make a fuss about yet something else, as if they ever stopped fussing and crying and bitching and pushing their beliefs on you, on me, on our children. Everywhere you turn nowadays, people are trying to impose their beliefs on you. And boy, they'll jump all over the religions for doing that. But they're doing the same exact thing, only worse, because they're pushing their beliefs with violence and stupidity and bullying and mob mentality. One-on-one, these people wouldn't last 5 minutes in an intellectual conversation about reality. Which is precisely why they have to go to their unstable emotions to act out on their beliefs. This stuff is so beyond obvious to those of us that have moved beyond this simple-minded way of human existence, where we've been reduced to a handful of faulty beliefs and emotions that get out of control real easy, and then people lose all sense of what is acceptable, decent, real. So who's really looking out for women and children? The welfare and well-being of women and children. Certainly isn't this mob of NPCs. So it never was about race. It never was about integrity. I'm going to boil it down and make it real simple. Real simple. These are childlike mentalities that have never been parented. And when the police step in as the parent that now has to try to regulate these wild, unruly children, they throw a fit and act like retards. Because how dare anyone parent them? How dare the cops try to be the surrogate father to these fatherless crazies? Which brings up a whole nother topic we could make a whole nother video about. If all these lunatics had fathers, would they be acting like lunatics? If their fathers were actually there in their homes, parenting them, would they be acting this way? Most of them were raised in single mother homes where the mother was more interested in how much her check was going to be based on how many children she has. That was the important thing, not the welfare and the raising of that child. So these children weren't loved or parented by either parent. And now they've become the equivalent of zombies in the street. I spoke yesterday about the system of abuse that we've all been raised in. That's an extreme example of how this system of abuse creates abused humans that then go out and perpetuate the abuse. And there's nothing more disgusting than people acting out their cycle of abuse while virtue signaling of how righteous and wonderful they are, when their latest, newest hero is yet another version of a failure that committed violence on women and children, sexual violence. And gets himself killed acting ignorant. And these people use that as an excuse to go out and act a fool and make them their latest hero. This is the kind of people they look up to. This is the kind of people they're ready to protest for. Because the cops were just being racist, right? Like they wouldn't have done that to a white person. Like they wouldn't have done that to anybody. Like the cops are just driving around, randomly picking people, black people, to commit racism against. No, the black people called them to come help them because this lunatic was acting a fool yet again. Even with warrants out for his dumb ass, he's still acting a fool. And his people had to call the cops on him. And the mainstream media will just twist this into a pretzel and tell you to choke it down with nothing to drink. And these NPCs will do just that, boy. They'll gobble it up. Because they don't really give a damn about any of the things that you and I give a damn about. They're looking for an excuse to be nuts. And then all the complicit media outlets will then blame all the nuttiness on Trump as though Trump has anything to do with this insanity. No, he's just one more surrogate father stepping in to parent a bunch of ignorant fools. And how dare he? And from the media's perspective, how dare he try to awaken these people that we've put under mass hypnosis? Do you know how much work and lying and deceiving we had to do to get these people to fall into such a low level of consciousness? And now here comes along a president that wants to wake them up. How dare he try to be a father to these fatherless, lost people. Because they should just be allowed to have a tantrum anywhere they want to. If they want to act like a 5-year-old baby that just got candy taken away from it and they're 45 years old, they should be allowed to do it. How dare Trump try to parent these adults? And they only have one thing they can go to. This kind of mentality, these kind of people only have one thing that works for them. Domination and control leading to violence. And what have we already established is the entity that takes on this mentality in the human. What do we call it? What do we know it as? The ego. The ego. This is all ego acting out, doing the only thing that it knows to do. And it bases every bit of it on its whack-ass backward beliefs because it doesn't know anything. If it knew love, do you think it would act that way? If it knew unity, do you think it would act that way? If it knew light, do you think it would act that way? Certainly would not. So this proves everything I've been saying. The ego and its beliefs are the equivalent of an alien that has taken over the body of humans. And there's other words for alien we could use, but we'll just go with alien for now, because it works. And we got so many sleeping people that still just don't have no damn clue of what's going on. No idea what all this crap is really about. And everybody's trying to wake you up if you're still asleep. Everybody is now. Everybody that's awakened is trying to awaken the people that are still asleep. The people that still want to use that mentality as though it's going to continue to work. It's not going to work anymore. Third density is not going to work much longer. I know some people don't accept that. Some people have no idea what I'm even saying when I say that, but whatever. Find out however you need to find out. But it wouldn't hurt to just do a little bit of research, do a little bit of listening, do a little bit of contemplating, do a little bit of meditating, and examine your own beliefs and see if what I'm saying here is not true. Because if I'm way off and I'm whacked out and I'm full of shit, I would love for you to school me in the comments. You tell me what's going on, since I'm just freely, openly telling you what's going on. I would love to get some enlightenment from anywhere it comes, because I'm learning more every single day, and I happen to enjoy learning more, finding out more, going deeper. I live for it now. Who wants to be stagnant? Who wants to be just sitting in place rotting when you have everything you need? Every tool is at your fingertips to learn as much as you can with the time you got left. And some of you don't have much time left. You have no idea what that means either, but hey, find out however you're going to find out. But with the time that you do have left, use it wisely. Tell that voice in your head to shut the hell up, because you're going to do some thinking for a change. You're going to allow consciousness to observe your own thoughts for a change and start correcting them where they're off. And some people's are way off. Every thought they have is off. But they think that's them. They think that voice is theirs. So they still don't know how this whole thing works. So I'm going to leave it at that for this one. Love and light. Until next time, my beautiful friends and family.